everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Yo, what up nerds? How's it going? Welcome back after the inauguration holiday we had on the market yesterday. Martin Luther King Day, inauguration day, but the market, oh boy, was it active, right? You had a nice little bump up on the market. A couple stocks late in the day moving from news day one of being in power. We already got news related moves coming off the pipeline. Oracle, AI stocks, energy names, you name it. So many opportunities across the board. I did not really trade the open today, but I did trade later on in the day, and I was able to make some quick lunch money. So profits were made. Another green day bagged on the book over here. Nice little green day for myself. Little green day. Basically made half of what I allow myself to lose in a day, so not that bad, right? If I'm making half of what I allowed to lose myself every single day, that's a pretty good day over there. And if I do lose what I allow myself to lose in a day, I basically give back 2 days worth of progress, not all of it, right? So as long as I keep sticking to that mantra, I think I'm on a good progress for this month so far. But looking at the opportunities, yes, missed the bag a lot. Traded my stocks a little bit poorly, but that's also because I really wasn't in the mindset to really even trade today. So when the trades did come, I didn't trade them properly. I wasn't even with the real size in the position. So after I took my lunch money scalps, I didn't have any more size to make more profits afterwards. So it just didn't work out for me the way that normally would have worked out had I was in a proper trading mindset and been trading throughout the day. But that's a whole different topic. So why don't we dive into my trades on the day and then prepare for all the fun tomorrow. Since I didn't really do too much, my trades on the day are going to be very, very minimal, right? We only have about 4, 5, 6, 7 stocks traded on the day today. Very minimal for a day that I didn't trade at all, right? But the 7 stocks traded, and for the most part, only 1 red stock on the day. So let's show you some of the names over here. My most profitable name, ARM. So Trump coming out and saying regarding AI, semiconductors, chips overall. New infrastructure announced by Trump should be interesting for chips, says Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. So Trump coming out with news, giving some bump to the semiconductor names, and ARM really blasting off on that news catalyst to the upside, was able to find a spot where ARM really stalled off into $157 and catch a nice little short move into 154, 155. So quick little dollar per share scalp over there on ARM. Triple M, nice little long continuation from VWAP, basically looking for the VWAP continuation ride. For the long side, I could have added over here or started the trade again over here, but at that time I was too busy. I think I was actually making lunch at that moment, so didn't really even watch the stock at that point, and missed out on another quick little long scalp from VWAP, or potentially could have been an even bigger trade from VWAP. But I'm happy with what I did over there on 3M. VATE, don't ask me what the news is, don't know, don't care. All I care is how does the stock fit into my pattern of trading. So higher low, higher high, holding just slightly below VWAP right here is where I should have technically entered into my position, but I'm okay with anticipating the move a little bit and getting in a little bit earlier for smaller size. But this is where I should have been entering the trade. And trying to fight for the long. Once again, it gives you another long here. It gives you a high day breakout here. Goes to $11 from $7. So VAT had the right idea, had the setup. I recognized the pattern. Once I recognized the pattern, I anticipated the trade. I didn't really wait for the trigger setup, so for that I do grade myself as on a lower grade on this trade because I wasn't patient enough. But was managing to I pat myself on the back for being able to recognize the pattern before I even played out. So that's a skill that you want to build, and once you do have that skill built in, when you're recognizing patterns before they even play out, then you want to have the next layer of that skill, which is you're waiting for the trigger to actually enter, not just entering because you're predicting. That will usually lead to hurting yourself in the long run. USEG, like I said, lots of stocks moving today. You had Trump coming out talking about energy state for emergency state for energy, something along those lines, causing energy stocks to blast off to the north side. USEG popped up, stalled off into the $6 area, not able to really stay above 6 after it broke 6, and so I'm able to get short somewhere into 540, 550. I'm actually all out of the trade, which is horrible because I'm only I only make 1:1 on this trade. But realistically, had I traded the stock much better, I had no reason to really get out over here. All the reasons to add to the trade, even on the way below VWAP, all the reasons to add to the trade. At that point, this trade ends up being not only a 1:1, but more than 2R, more than 3R of a trade to the downside. So really bungled up USEG. Fucked up USEG, let's say what it is. But hey, profits are profits. I made money on it, so I'm a little happy with my entries, really unhappy with my exits. But that's just the nature of my trading, as it's in a nutshell. My exits are always poor. I need to be very, very, very selective and the process based with my exits, which I'm not. Entry S&P 500. I was looking for two trade opportunities, either the break of 601 long, or I'll take a dip into 650 to get long. So 650, when I had the order out, it really didn't fill, but what filled was the break of 600. But either order getting filled, I would still have to risk under 600 to see if I'm wrong. So that's still S&P 500 would have to hold under 600 for me to be wrong on this trade. And since it never really did that, I had all the reasons to hold the stock or hold the ETF for the long side. But on a nice little pop off of VWAP, I said I'll take my lunch money scalp and I'll walk away with it, and that's exactly what I did. But boy oh boy, that lunch money scalp would have turned into a real trade. Even though I did not have enough size, I would have made enough money on the day on this one name alone, where you know, it would have been a whole completely different day. So S&P 500 long, something to keep an eye on potentially for the next few days. IWM was a trade that I actually planned for last night. If you watch my YouTube video last night that I posted, only like what, 20 videos on that, 20 views on that, so clearly not a lot if you watched that video. But if you did watch it, you were able to catch a beautiful trade on IWM that I talked about, which is 227 under over. If you go to IWM, oh, my trading views on this chart, this screen. If you go to IWM and pull up the chart today, you can see how today's low was exactly 227. 226.99 was today's low. Off the open, we just hold that 227 area and give you a monster long to 229 on IWM. So had I been in the office today, I would have smoked that long. At least I would like to imagine I would have smoked that long. And S&P 500 was kind of in that same basket, over under 600. And over under 600 is exactly how S&P 500 played. RKLB, I was watching RKLB for a breakout of 31.20 to get long, but it wasn't really doing that. And then on the way down, it was, you know, creating lower lows and lower highs and lower lows and lower highs. But somewhere on the way down there on RKLB, the whole space sector was just really bullish today. Somewhere on the way down here, you see how the stock goes into $30 and then immediately blasts back up to $30.50. So after I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, there's a buyer here clearly. Even though I have an active seller pushing the stock lower and lower and lower, the buyer is supporting the stock and they're not letting it go at the moment. So in that case, let me get long and then I'll add on the break of 31.20 for a potential break of high a day. Sadly, the stock did not have any juice at all to go higher before 4 o'clock. I guess it started to have a little bit of momentum going into 4 o'clock, but just did not have that momentum that I wanted a little bit before 4 o'clock. So I just took my flat exit and I said, no thank you, I don't want to be involved in this, because the stock could easily just go back to VWAP and then I lose on this trade for no reason, right? It gave me multiple outs, multiple chances to get out for free, multiple chances to make 20 cents per share, but I ignored all of those chances. That would just be idiotic of me. So I took my chance and I took the exit flat out and I said thank you. My only red trade on the day, really should not even be red on this name, is APPL. Apple had a little bit of a flat bottom into $220.50. Also looked like a bouncy ball on $220.50. So I took the breakdown of $220.50, expecting a move down to $219.50, which was actually previous earnings low, and Apple actually flushes into that area. From that area, I'm looking to get long on Apple, and that long actually fails the first time, but the second time ends up working. The second time I'm not even interested to trade it, I'm not watching it, and I just let the trade go, and sadly that was when you know, the trade actually works, goes all the way to VWAP and a little bit higher than VWAP. My risk was going to be very little for the amount of reward I was going to get out of the trade. So all things did align, but I just wasn't even in the real trading mindset today. So I'm just happy with making my lunch money on ARM, on MMM, on VATE, and USEG. These were my four most profitable names, and these are basically either a little bit of money was made, or they're flat trades, or a little bit of money was lost. So my basket of trades on the day today. If you are interested, go follow me on Twitter. You can go check out all of my trades for the start of this year until now on Twitter. And you just have to look for the dates. If you see this little date with the plus or minus, that will be the indication that that is a summary of that day. I've also been posting a lot of video studies or podcast studies for those of you interested. Go check them out. I did a couple podcast study and a video study thread recently on a couple videos that the one Lance B posted. Amazing content if you want to learn about you know, how to trade better, or even if you want to learn how to trade to begin begin with, go check out some of those threads. I'll be working on another thread content from the free course of the One Lance B. So the free course over here from the One Lance B, I will not be posting notes from the paid course, because A, I don't want to get sued, and B, you know, he does the paid course for a reason. He does it so he could donate the money to charity. So if you are interested in donating to charity for a good cause and learn how to trade slightly better than you do at the moment, then please go check out the One Lance B's paid tiers, which will unlock a lot more content. But if you are not interested in that, then the free tier is more than enough. According to Lance, the free tier is more than enough, and I'm currently I want to say halfway through the free tier, so I'll probably be watching the rest of them today, currently on dissecting trade stats, and eventually sometime today, tomorrow, or sometime during this week, I'll throw my notes up on a thread on Twitter. So make sure you follow me up there to get your share of your notes. All right, now let's head over to the more fun part of the stream, where we get to talk about the stocks that we are interested in tomorrow. So here are some of the stocks that moved around today. These are, most of the names up here are on my watch list. For example, Oracle, RGTI, Apple, SoundHound, RKLB, TEM, and Netflix. But the other few stocks, I'm going to go ahead and choose to ignore them. After REKR announced it'll be working with SoundHound to transform emergency vehicle technologies. REKR. Did you pop up? You popped up, but you got slapped back down. Yikes. Record got wrecked. Record got wrecked. So that's basically the stocks that moved around today. But here is my watch list. So my watch list for tomorrow, we got Guri. What's up, Guri? How you doing, brother? TH. Wait. There you go. Guri. What? Why is it cutting off at the bottom over there? That's stupid. Alright, anyways, Guri's in the house. We got TH, we got Dieter, we got Ryan. If you're in the chat, let me know so we can show you on the screen to the wonderful people who are watching us on other platforms, so that way they know to come follow us on YouTube also, because that's the chat that we are usually active on. All right, so here's the watch list. Netflix, mostly earnings names, so big basket of earnings names. The space sector is very much in play at the moment. That might be the new theme on the market emerging. We had the robotics theme, we had the quantum theme, which is still a theme. We have the AI theme that's kind of reigniting itself. Then you have a space theme coming into play. So the space theme might be the latest theme that the market is blasting off on. Couple bank names that seem interesting to me to keep an eye for. Semiconductor names obviously moving up with the Trump news. Cryptocurrency with the whole Trump millennia coin and all other craziness going on. If you'd be insane to not have cryptocurrency on your watch list. Magnificent 7. Google got slammed back from its all-time high. Failed all-time high break, so something to keep an eye out over there. The drone sector has a little bit of a pop today, but if notice how I don't really have any stocks put under the drone sector, because I feel like I have too many stocks on my watch list already. But if the drone sector does have an interesting pop continuation tomorrow, I want to be watching that, so I have it in my watch list already. And along with the drones, I might even put in China. Put China in the watch list over there to keep an eye out for that watch list. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So keep an eye out for the drone sector. As you can see today, They were up slightly, 13% for UMAC, 10% Joby, 9% ACHR, Archer, and so on. But that is basically the overall watch list for tomorrow, starting with the earnings basket. So why don't I quickly show you the earnings board. Netflix, United Airlines, Seagate are the main ones that I care about from reporting after hours. You can put interactive brokers in there if you really care about it, but IBKR usually never does anything after they report after hours. So let me quickly go check. Oh, a little bit of a pop and actually made an all-time high run. So maybe IBKR does make the basket over here for a possible trade tomorrow. But low volume stock doesn't really do too much as a momentum name, so doesn't get me too excited to really look for a trade on this position, but it could give you an easy layup tomorrow. So reported earnings popped up a little bit to the north side. More interested at the moment for obviously the big boys such as Netflix. So pulling in Benzinga, if you're interested in checking out this awesome tool known as Benzinga Pro, go to the description below, or if you're watching me on the other platforms, go check out the links in the bio on Twitter or on Twitch. Benzinga Pro, get 10% off for using my link from my Linktree page. We're going to be using Benzinga almost every single day during the earnings season, so you will hear me talking a lot about it. Let's go take a look at their earnings report. Where is the report? There it is. Okay, quite a bit to read, so let's kind of skim through this. Fourth quarter revenue. Oh, my eye is so itchy. Fourth quarter revenue up 16% year over year, 10.25 billion versus 10.11. Company reported earnings per share 4.27 versus 4.19. Netflix reported it added 18.91 paid subscribers, up 15% year over year. Ended the quarter with 301 million paid subscribers. Think about that number. That's insane. Average revenue per member was up 1% year over year. Our Q4 sales outperformed. Operating income top 10 billion. Company said it enters 2025 with a strong momentum coming off the year with record net additions of 41 million and having re-accelerated growth, 16% increase in revenue. Netflix is guiding first quarter revenue to 10.42, which would be up 11% year over year. Company is guiding operating income to be between income of 2.9 billion in the first quarter and earnings per share of 5.58. Full year guidance for the revenue is now listed between 43 to 44 billion dollars. Up 0.5 billion from the previous range. The guidance represents a year-over-year growth of 12 to 14%. Will no longer break out membership growth going forward into fiscal 2025. So they're saying membership growth will now continue to stay healthy, but will not grow as drastically. The company said its priorities for 2025 include improving the core business with more series and films, developing new initiatives like programming and gaming. Not sure that's the route you want to go with. We maintain the leadership position in engagement, revenue, and profit. We're focused on improving all aspects of our service and combined with the return in 2025. You know what I'm actually thinking? Something that Netflix could possibly do is what I have in the background over here with one of these websites. This website, I don't even care. I don't work for Trader TV Live anymore. I can talk about bootleg websites. This website over here hosts free live TV channels, also sports and so on, but hosts free live TV channels. What Netflix could technically do is combine a bunch of their catalogs and have a 24/7 live stream programming going on that people can just click on. They don't have a choice of what they're gonna watch. It's kind of like old school TV, right? They don't have a choice what they're gonna watch if they click on one of these live TV channels. It's just whatever is playing. It could be an animated cartoon for children's show. It could be you know, a movie channel for action. It could be a comedy stand-up live TV where it just keeps on playing things on a 24-hour, and then you have ads in between like a real TV. This could like be in its own different subscription tier, on a lower end subscription tier for Netflix, cheaper than their normal tier, and I bet you that will make them a lot more money if they do that, and they would probably gain a lot more customers. Imagine charging like $2 a month instead of whatever the ad subscription tier is. I think it's like $5 a month, right? Imagine charging $2 a month where you get live TV and live TV only. You don't get to pick from what you get to watch, but you pay nothing, next to nothing, and then you get a nice back in the day old school TV methodology. I like that idea, but obviously I'm not on the Netflix board. You know, I can't pitch it to them, but let's see if they do something like that in the near future. Anyways, coming back to the earnings report over here that they just reported, a banger report, right? Banger report. Sadly, they did say that they are no longer expecting to grow in terms of membership growth numbers, but still a monster growth across the board today, to the point where the stock has blasted off, just inching into $1,000 area. So just inching into the $1,000 area, $3 away, $2 away from 1,000 on Netflix over here. Monster breakout. What happens tomorrow? Your guess is as good as mine, right? I'm not sure. I can expect the stock to open up above 1,000, but if it does, then you know that just goes to show how strong the report was, how bullish the people think, the market thinks that the report was. So you're basically looking for longs on every single dip if the stock is trading above 1,000. But if we're not able to get above 1,000 and hold above 1,000, I think there's an easy short opportunity for a move back into this earnings view op area on Netflix into 960, 950. Even if it does dip into 960, 950, that doesn't make that stock you know, it doesn't negate the earnings report that it has. It doesn't disqualify the bullishness of the stock and so on. So lots of points to keep in mind over here, that even if we do get a dip, it's still in a very bullish trend. You can see how this little dip was around $950, nice and even price point, 950. I'm not saying that that dip is going to happen, but if it does, I like the long much more, especially if we get a nice V-shaped recovery, allowing me to get long into this little barrier cross and then ride it right back into $1,000 or much higher than $1,000. If you're Bill Ackman right now, you are very upset for taking the loss on Netflix the way you did. You're very upset for taking the loss on Netflix the way you did. So I'm actually going to refrain from putting some levels into my watch list on NFLX, because I don't think it really matters what levels I put in now. More so what happens in the pre-market tomorrow is a lot more important. UAL potentially blasting off a little bit higher to the north side. The stock originally blasted off on Delta Airlines report, went above its all-time high of 105, and then created a little bit of a triple top over here above 105 into the 110 area, 111 area, and then breaking out of the 111 on the earnings report. So you have what could be the easiest support zone being shown on UAL. So on this earnings report, you can see how it's flatlining into the earnings anchored VWAP. So at this point, my no-brainer support area on UAL is around 111. So as long as the stock stays above 111 on dips, I am still interested to see how the longs play out on this position. Then you got the 114.50, which is the EA VWAP, earnings anchored VWAP, which I'm going to be looking as an inflection, potentially turning into resistance depending on where the stock is on the pre-market. If the stock is above 114 in pre-market, then this is a support. If the stock is below 114 in the pre-market and going into the open, then that's a resistance. So you want to be very careful. I think my niece is trying to enter my room here. Not sure if she needs me, but if she does, she can hit the door again, and then I'll have to answer it. Okay, so UAL 111, keeping an eye on the dip over there to see if any fun opportunities show up. But you know, I didn't even read the report on this. I'm just guessing the report was good because the stock flew up to the north side. Get the pun? It's an airline. It flew up. Anyways, let's read it real quick. 14.7 versus 14.4, 3.26 versus 2.99, 10% up year over year. Corporate revenue jumped 7%. Basic economy revenue climbed 20%. Loyalty and cargo revenue also experienced robust growth at 12 to 30% respectively. Capacity was up 6.2% on a year-over-year basis. Outlook: United Airlines expects first quarter adjusted to be 75 cents to $1.25 compared to 57. That's also a good beat. Full year EPS 11.5 to 11.3 versus 11.25. Let's see the revenue side. They haven't said anything about the revenue. Looking ahead, 2025 sees robust demand trends in the first quarter with domestic RASM. Is that the Trans Am? Whatever Trans Am, RASMT, RSM, total revenue. Yeah, total revenue per available seat mile expected to turn solidly positive year over year, as well as continued improvement in the total revenue available seat per mile. So good news across the board, and hence you can see why the stock is popping up. So shout out to United Airlines on that report. Seagate, I love Seagate. You know, I like keeping an eye on Seagate, especially when they report earnings. And looks like another good earnings move on STX over here. Is this into all-time highs? This is not into all-time highs, but we are now reclaiming some of the previous levels. Let me just turn off the heater here. It is freaking cold in Canada. It's too cold, especially in Toronto, Canada here. So I have a heater blasting in my room, and now it's really hot in my room. Anyway, Seagate reporting earnings going a little bit higher than the most recent line that we put in around 104, but it also has a little bit higher top into 114. Make sure you're reading the earnings report on this one if you are interested to trade it. The chart's too choppy. The liquidity is ugly. I've traded the stock before, so I know about the liquidity. You know, the spread can be ugly right off the open. So when it comes to chart quality and trade quality, this one's not really up there on the books. However, if it does pull back into 104 and show you support above 104, maybe there's a long there, but it's just not the cleanest setups for me to be too interested in on Seagate. For example, if you want to trade a stock with Seagate type of liquidity, you could just go to IBKR and look to see if IBKR stays long above 200. If IBKR can stay strong above 200, in my opinion, this is a much easier trade, way cleaner of a long. Even if it pulls back into 195 and stays above 195, it's just a much easier trade than STX at 104, in my opinion. But I could be wrong on that. Maybe they're both just equally shit. Who knows? Maybe they're both just equally shit, and the real stock that we all want to be watching tomorrow is NFL. I want to see if there's any 2 times, 3 times leverage names on Netflix. There is. Can I filter like only American stocks so I don't see all these other garbage names? Stocks. I can. Woohoo! Okay. Awesome. Oh, bang. Okay. This is how you find them. Oh, snap. I'm a genius. Okay, NFLX and NFXS. So this is for the short side. That's for the long side. This is Premium strategy, Netflix. How much volume does this even do? This does no volume, I bet. Yeah, 7,000 shares traded. NFLX. NFLU, that's one I remember. Is this on the Amex? I think this one's on the Amex. It says CBOE. I can't remember what's CBOE. This one's on the Amex. Does this one do any volume? No volume. NFLX. Do you do any volume over here? I hope you guys do some volume tomorrow, please. Okay, you're not bad. You're at $45. You're actually not at a bad volume level. NFLS. NFXS. Yeah, your volume sucks. But most likely your volume picks up tomorrow. So I'm interested in that. I'm just gonna put them in my notes. NFXL, NFXS. There we go. Coming back to IBKR, I think it's fairly simple. Inflection level is 200, support 195, and then watching to see how the stock plays out between those levels. Next one, 3M. MMM reported earnings today, pre-market, popping into the all-time high. I believe the all-time high, let me just make sure. No, sorry, not the all-time high. Popping into a monthly resistance high where the stock has found resistance in 2019, in 2021, and we're kind of just going into that level again. So 150 area coming into play, and just really struggle to find any buying above even 149 today for the most part. Now obviously tomorrow is day 2. Day 1 was kind of meh, boring if you ask me. No real big move to the upside after the gap up itself, so might not really even have a day 2 tomorrow. But if the stock does get above 150, I might keep an eye for a potential day 2 trade. So I'm just gonna set an alert on this stock above 149. If it does start to go above 149, I'll keep an eye out to see how the stock behaves above 150, and then potentially a trade for me to keep an eye on. Couple other stocks here in the earnings basket to keep an eye out for that report earnings tomorrow pre-market. Procter & Gamble, PG, Procter & Gamble, ABT, Abbott Technologies, Abbott Laboratories Technologies. Where did I get anyways? Abbott Lab coming into the upside over here already before their earnings report, going into tomorrow. J&J, another quick little pop on J&J here from the nice 52-week consolidation low area. That's awesome. Nice little hold of the 52-week low and popping right back up before its earnings report. Let's see if more upside is due for J&J. HAL oil company, yeah, but looks pretty dead at the moment. This is not the same company, sorry. Even though I typed in American, I'm getting Indian companies for some reason. So HAL, here's the American company. The volume is not bad, right? But it's on a downtrend at the moment. Let's see if the earnings report changes that trend and puts in a new trend, a new catalyst to put in a new trend. GEV. So this was the name that was at all-time high. I keep getting confused between GE and GEV. Both of them at the end of the day the same thing. And this was the one at all-time high. Where is GE at then? My internet is laggy for some reason, not sure what's going on. GE almost at its all-time high, but GEV, which is well above its all-time high now, and I guess making a new all-time high before its earnings report tomorrow. So keeping an eye on this one to go a little bit more bonkers, a little bit more crazy. Maybe you get to fade at the pop tomorrow if this one goes much higher, or it gives you a good build-up of energy to take the breakout off of as an opening drive or something. Not that I'll be interested in, but keep an eye out for these names that are reporting tomorrow pre-market, along with some of the names that already reported. For the most part, I like stocks. I like to trade stocks that I planned for the night before on the earnings basket, because then I don't have to, re-look at the earnings report, study the earnings report. It's just me being lazy, right? Me being lazy. When I have stocks that I've already planned for and they're doing what I want them to do, most of the time I ignore the stocks that report pre-market. But if you're interested in them, there's some good setups that do show up at time to time on those stocks. RKLB, big move on the space sector today. RKLB blasting off to the north side. What is wrong with my internet? RKLB blasting off to the space sector. Blasting off to the space sector is. But nice little breakout. Too far, too quick in one day, if you ask me. I'm not expecting a big day tomorrow. Potentially an inside day on RKLB, along with a bunch of other space names such as PL, LUNR. PL actually looks very, very, very good on the daily chart for a potential breakout, but I'm not expecting these stocks to break out tomorrow. They had a little bit of an insane day today. Yes, you could look at today as a day one, but day two plays most of the time means they gotta pull back and show you support into previous day VWAP, or they gotta build some energy into previous day high and then blast off to the previous day high, or get above previous day high and show you buying above previous day high, turn previous day high into a support, and then you get to go long. Before that, that's like a 15, 20, 30 minute pattern that you want to wait for. So I don't really see an aggressive play here on the space basket. So you want to be very careful to really look for an aggressive day too long, in my opinion. I think there are some plays, right, you want to watch to see how these stocks look at Friday VWAP, or sorry, yesterday VWAP. You want to see how yesterday's VWAP holds up on some of these names. For PL, I think there was what was it, $5 or $4.80, $4.60. What was today's high? $4.75. So for $4.75, I'll keep an eye on to see how that behaves. And then also above $4.75, you have that $5 peak over here. My dog is playing with a squeaky toy. I love it. I love when my dog plays with a squeaky toy. It's like it just puts a smile on my face. It makes me so happy when Coco's playing with squeaky toys. I love that. PL putting $5 to the upside. LUNR, we're waiting to see LUNR if it can pull back and show me some support above this little 3-day high. Friday VWAP, I'm more so interested at Friday VWAP, or sorry, today's VWAP, which is at 21.75. ASTS, and I'll show you why the VWAP is actually so important in a second. Give me a second. Okay, so if you were listening to my video I dropped on the weekend, or I should say yesterday, if you watched the video I dropped overnight, last night, I had a couple stocks that I talked about to look out for how they would react at their VWAP, such as the China sector. Alibaba didn't really go to its VWAP, but it found some buying above the VWAP. Okay, little bullish. Let's go to JD. JD dropped exactly into that white line, the level, the VWAP that I was talking about, and just consolidated. Didn't really go under it, but it held above it. Okay, that's somewhat bullish, not extremely bearish, not extremely bullish, but you found some buying above yesterday's best price. Okay, there could be a little upside move over here on JD, but here is the main one, FUTU. FUTU, look at how FUTU played out. FUTU goes into that level. Where's my line? There we go. FUTU goes into that level, holds that level cleanly, and then blasts off to the north side. Not only is that level coinciding with the last day's anchored VWAP, it also coincides with the long-term line that I have mapped out on this chart from way back in the day. So multiple reasons to look for the long on the FUTU stock over here in the Chinese sector. So this is why I like to see how stocks behave at previous day's VWAP, especially when previous day was kind of day one. So with today being day one, look at how RKLB's opening range breakout price area was technically the VWAP price, right? VWAP price coming in around 29.77. That opening range break high is around 29.27. I'm expecting this whole range of pocket to come into play tomorrow to get tested, and if we get a nice little bounce off of that, an easy move back into today's high, and then if the momentum is real, then a potential move past today's high to keep an eye on. So all of these stocks, the space sector, keep an eye on them. Let's go to the robotic sector real quick. SYM and SERV on watch. Robotic sector popped up a little bit, not too much of a pop in robotics. Most of them were red, but a couple stocks that I on my quick little scan that stood out to me were SYM. Potential higher move on SYM, especially if it wants to have the continuation. You can see how volume is just kind of coming back into this position, but more so I like SERV because SERV has somewhat of a flat top going into multiple days right above $20. So if SERV starts holding above 20 and you know, shows you some buying above 20, or even if it's under 20 and getting ready to give you a breakout opportunity through $20, I think you're getting an easy move into 22, 24, and keep in mind that's a move back into all-time high and a potential move above all-time high coming into play. Robotics is still very much an in-play theme, a theme that you know, we are seeing kind of get closer and closer to fruition, meaning we're seeing more and more robotic conversations from Tesla, from other creators, from other companies and so on every single day. So if SERV wants to see some love on the $20 break, you do not want to miss that breakout. So throw an alert, be ready for the stock, especially when that price is about to go through. Quantum names, again, I don't have any opinion of what I want to do on these quantum names. The daily charts are atrocious, they're ugly. You know, they don't have any patterns, but the intraday charts could have a pattern. Look how fucking trash TradingView is. Is this TradingView or is this my internet? This fucking TradingView is trash, dude. TradingView server is eating absolute donkey bananas right now. Hot dog water. God damn it, TradingView. Look how slow everything's loading. Anyways, no real pattern. You could say, yeah, this is a dip by pocket area, Prad. Yeah, this is that. You know, this is just not a clean chart. I don't care what you say. My opinion is my opinion, and I trade based on, you know, my setups and my opinion. I don't trade based on, you know, what Sean Katina thinks. I don't care, right? It's my opinion because I'm the one trading based off of it. So based on my opinion, I think these charts are absolutely ugly. RGTI, IonQ, QBTS, this fucking platform, man. QBTS, maybe we just gotta go to Yahoo Finance today. Yahoo Finance. QBTS, none of these charts look appealing to me for a clear-cut level. For example, RGTI could pull into 1270, 13 bucks and look like it's holding 13, but what if it drops just below 13 to 1150 and then bounces off 1150 and goes back to 13? You're just gonna be like, oh my god, what an ugly name, what a not so clear name at all. It's just choppy and I don't want to be involved in it. You might just start, you know, going into tilt, into emotions that you don't even want to be in when you're thinking about trading. So when it comes to these quantum names, I think I'm going to do the best thing for me, which is just not trade them. when you have so many names in play, you can just choose to not trade them, right? You don't have to trade every single stock out there. In poker, you don't have to play every single hand. You can choose to fold. Even if you're big blind or small blind, who cares? You can choose to fold and not be involved in that hand. So that's what I'm gonna do with the quantum names. Could be a wrong thing to do, but it'll be the right thing for me, because it'll save me more money by just choosing to staying away from these names. Couple names in the AI basket. Let's talk about Oracle. Oracle blasted off today to the north side with the Trump catalyst. The charts are just absolutely slow, so I am actually indeed going to start using Yahoo Finance charts instead. So chart. Okay, so is this, who the hell colors? Is this supposed to be today? You colored today, I guess. Alright, whatever. So right there, the news comes out, big blast off to the north side. Then you get a nice high day breakout on Oracle to look for the long. So Oracle, obviously, you're keeping an eye out for today's VWAP. How does today's VWAP behave on a dip? You're getting a blast off in the after hours too. Oracle basically making a move back into the pre-earnings ranges. Maybe I shouldn't say pre-earning. The last earnings ranges that it was at. Wow, nice bounce off the 200-day moving average also on Oracle. Love seeing that come into play on ORCL. 200 moving average bounce. Not even its earnings report, just off of news, going back into the nice even dollar area of 180, and then trying to reclaim the 180 area right now in the after hours. This is a little extended as F, if you ask me. I will actually throw in a VWAP from that news itself. So this is, what is the news? Let's grab the news real quick. Trump announces $500 billion AI infrastructure plan. Okay, so this should be the earnings VWAP. I believe that should be the earnings VWAP. Or is that the all-time high VWAP? Nah, basically both. They're both exactly the same thing. ER earnings VWAP. And we just blasted back through the earnings VWAP after today's catalyst on Oracle. So watching Oracle without a doubt. TEM, another name. Since my charts are being really annoying, I'm probably not going to bother pulling up charts anymore. I'm just going to quickly talk about them to you. TEM, Nancy Pelosi, never wrong, baby. Nancy Pelosi investing in this name, and the stock is now getting another blast off, especially in the after hours. So keep this one on your watch list. I don't think you should see a move back down to 46, but if it does give you a move back down to 46, obviously on watch to see how the stock behaves over there. Potential drop into $50 and then holding above 50 would be very, very bullish. So I'll be watching $49.50 to $50 area to see if stock can find some support. SoundHound had some good catalyst today. A positive catalyst on SoundHound that blasted the stock to the north side. Insane move on SoundHound, especially if you look on the daily chart, right? So that looks good. If SoundHound can give you some dip buy longs, I think it's gonna have an inside day tomorrow. Not sure how important the day is for tomorrow on SoundHound, but for sure on watch. Going to speed run some of the names over here because the internet's actually pretty shitty for TradingView. I think TradingView's data servers are absolutely garbage at the moment, because my rest of the internet is actually fine. Like even for streaming, my internet's absolutely fine, but it's just TradingView that's dog water. Wells Fargo, all-time high area. Put an alert into the all-time high. If Wells Fargo is finding buying above 78 and staying strong above 78, no brainer long over there. JP Morgan, however, not really looking for a long on JP Morgan. I think this stock has had way too many green days in a row. You started from 240 and you're at 260 now. You are only 3% away from the 5-day moving average, but this is still a straight 10% move from the consolidation lows that you were just at before the earnings report. So a little too far too quick if you ask me. Another couple of days of upside, or especially tomorrow, gap up higher, gap up into 265, 270, and then show me some weakness into that area. I am looking to get short on JP Morgan, but on Wells Fargo it's the opposite side of the trade. So looking for both sides. I guess if the market's green, I'll watch Wells Fargo. If the market's red, I'll watch JP Morgan. It's that simple, right? Rest of the mega cap stocks over here, or the semiconductor stocks, obviously Nvidia, Micron, TSM, and ARM, which are the chip stocks, always on watch, especially with the whole AI infrastructure news that is being talked about by the Trump administration. I almost said Biden administration. Goodbye, Biden. The Trump administration coming in and laying down some new rules for AI. So obviously chip sector active a little bit. They could potentially shake things up again if China tariff news comes into play. Now, China tariffs, Canada tariffs, hasn't really been talked about yet. It could be, easing up on it, but as soon as that conversation comes back into play, a lot of these stocks are going to take a beating. The semiconductor stocks, the Chinese stocks, and so on. So make sure you are ready. Have a watch list ready. Look how I have, different segments, different sectors, drone, China, Mag 7, crypto. Have a watch list ready. Be locked and loaded, because when it happens, you don't want to be a deer in headlights. I've been there before, right? I've been a deer in headlights, just watching the moves. No longer do I want to be that. Now I want to actually be in the moves. Coinbase. Jesus Christ, man. You know what? I'm just gonna go to a better platform at the moment. Okay, even this sucks apparently. Let's go to Coinbase. Coinbase, a little bit of a pop, obviously, with all the craziness that's going on with the crypto sector, with the Trump going higher, or Trump creating a meme coin, and his wife creating a meme coin that took Coinbase to 300. Coinbase activity started probably seeing some spike. Even people like me who don't really care about cryptocurrencies at all had to start using Coinbase again just to see if there was a trade opportunity on the Trump coin. For example, the Trump coin actually has a really good trading opportunity if you're interested in. So if you go to the Trump coin, let me quickly open it up. If you go to Trump coin, the coin is actually holding above its IPO anchored VWAP really well. I mean, you call it what you want, but this green line is the IPO anchored VWAP. Notice how it bounced right off the $30 anchored VWAP and ripped to what, $60? Bounced off the earnings anchored, not earnings, sorry, the IPO anchored VWAP and went up to $40 from that $30 area. Again, bounced right off of it and went up to 48 bucks. This drop came in recently when they asked Trump what he thinks about the cryptocurrency, about the coin. He said, I don't know much about it, but I dropped it, I released it, and I know it was very successful. And that dropped a little bit because he said he doesn't know anything about it. But notice how it got bought right back up from that $30 area. So lots of hype, lots of craziness happening over here on the official Trump meme coin. I'm guessing Michael Saylor has something to do with this one. Barron, they're saying Barron has something to do with this one. Barron obviously being Trump's son, I think, Trump's son. But yeah, insane moves on this. You could basically just get long off the green line every single time as the stock keeps holding it, and you know, lots of activity coming into Coinbase. If Coinbase can start getting above 300 and start looking bullish above 300, that's an easy long over there. You have a bunch of other cryptocurrency coins to keep an eye on. Google, nice little failed break of all-time high. Actually got above the all-time high, but failed broke of all-time high and got sold right back down. So a little opportunity there to keep an eye on. If Google pops back into this area, you can see at looking at those wicks, 1, 2, 3 triple top wicks coming into that area. Clearly a seller at the moment around that 200 zone. For example, Amazon had the same trouble at 200 when Bezos had a sell order. What if the same issue is over here? Because we're struggling to get above 200 on Google. Google does have two different stocks, GOOG and GOOGL. They both did the exact same thing, if you're wondering. They should do the exact same thing. Amazon very close to its all-time high, potentially getting ready for a breakout. Apple, the opposite. Apple at its previous earnings low. Its previous earnings low at 247. So opposite things happening across the board. Is that an alert that I have on Apple? That's hilarious. Let me just delete that alert. Hello? Why isn't this alert deleted? Anyways, I'll leave it here for now. So Apple, nice little bounce off of the 219.50 area. If you're interested to keep an eye out for that one. Drones, China sector, market, S&P 500, and IWM. So let me quickly see how this is still struggling to save my layout and close. What a garbage platform. What a garbage platform. All right, let's go to S&P 500. Very bullish, obviously. The market's in an awesome bullish trend. As long as the market stays above 600, I think the bullishness still continues on the S&P 500. Yes, Bezos' girlfriend went to the inauguration in a lacy see-through top, and Zuckerberg's eyes popped out. Yes, that is very true. I'm pretty sure everyone saw that happening. But is that his wife? Oh no, girlfriend. Yeah, you said girlfriend. I was gonna say that's not his wife, but yes, girlfriend. Ugh. I mean, look, she's not. She is Botox filled, yes, but I'd smash. I'd smash. You're telling me you wouldn't? I'd smash. QQQ. Lower highs and lower lows. So not really the exact same pattern as the S&P 500 and the IWM. The IWM had a nice breakout above 227, and that was the trade idea. The same idea as S&P 500 applies to IWM. As long as it's above 227, you can continue to look long, in my opinion. But once it gets back below 227, you want to be careful for the long idea on IWM. S&P 500, same idea with the $600 area. And if S&P 500 can get above 605, that makes things even better for QQQ, which I just said, you know, lower high, lower low pattern. If you were able to draw a trend line, it kind of is just following the trend line at the moment. So I would like for it to break that trend line, start holding above some of these resistance areas, and look more bullish. That would be the semiconductor basket, not the semiconductor. That would be the tech basket that needs to look a lot more bullish. But when Trump is in power, it's going to be your small cap stocks that are seeing a lot more love, and that's exactly what we're seeing across the board on the market. Once again, you have names such as SOUN, SERB, space names, earnings basket. So big basket of stocks tomorrow to keep an eye on. I am very excited, and boy oh boy, can't wait for tomorrow. I wish you guys the best tomorrow. Before I hand you guys off to yourselves, you know, I'm not really handing you off to anybody, but before I hand you guys to yourselves and your wives and your other family that you have besides me, let's take a quick look at the two calendars which are very important, which is the econ calendar dead. Nothing on the economic calendar tomorrow. It's just a 20-year bond auction at 1 o'clock, which is obviously a little important. But besides that, absolutely dead on the economic calendar. And the last calendar that I really care about, because I do know that there is an IPO coming out, which is the end of the week. The end of the week, we have a big IPO, a VG, Venture Global, price between $40 to $46, 50 million shares being offered to the market. So decent enough of IPO over here that is launching very, very soon on the 24th of January. So that will be this Friday. We'll talk about that more in depth tomorrow on the 23rd of January, which will be the final episode of this week. Short week. We didn't have the market yesterday. Market today, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. Nice little 4-day week on the market, but activity and fun, we got lots of it. We got lots of activity and lots of fun on the market. So excited. Wish you guys the best. Hopefully you found some opportunities. I apologize that TradingView is being an absolute dipshit and not really working for us right now, but I gave you some levels. I gave you some trades. I reviewed my trades on the day, and all I can do is call it a night. Time to go watch some more the Lance B videos. Go check out his website, theonelanceb.com. I think that's his website, and free trading courses. What's better than a free trading course, right? I'll wish you guys the best. I'll catch you guys next time. TraderPrad out. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, so I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here. Back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.